years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And we sing. Oh, for about the 97th day indoors, it's Alex Bennett, and it's the Ramble. Yeah, we go until midnight Eastern Daylight Time. Oh, look, I'm moraying. See that? That's what they call moraying. See, when you're wearing a shirt that morays, I shouldn't be wearing a shirt that morays. Oh, well, what the hell? If you're watching us, you can see it. If you're not watching us, you don't have to deal with my moraying shirt. Look at that. Look at that. That's what they call moraying. Hello there. How are you? My eyes are just absolutely trashed tonight. More of the allergies. You know, it's allergy season here. I wish I could say it was COVID, but it's not COVID. So, what the hell? Hey, I just looked at something. We haven't played this in a long time. Wait a minute, let me play this. Let me see here.
Hi, I'm Robin Leach with those champagne wishes and caviar dreams, and you're listening to the incredible, the memorable, the wonderful, the one and only Alex Bennett.
Yeah, now you see that. You remember Robin Leach? I think he's dead now, isn't he? Yeah. Here's one that I kind of liked.
Hello, this is Ed McMahon. Here's Alex Bennett.
Now you see, I mean, these are people who are dead who did promos for me. How about this one? This guy's really dead. Listen to this, and listen to him try and do it. Listen.
He wants you to do a station promo.
What is it?
This is Bob Modern Rock Hope. You're listening to Alex Bennett.
This is Bob Modern Rock Hope, and you're listening to
Alex Bennett on Live
Alex
105.
Bennett on Live
105.
105.
Want to from the top? Yeah, one more. This is Bob Modern Rock Hope. You're listening to Alex Bennett, Live 105.
Alex Bennett. You're listening to Alex Bennett on Live 105.
And what we had to do, we had to take that thing and then we had to chop it together. So it seemed like he was saying the whole thing. He was so far gone by the time we got to him, and I didn't even get to him. I didn't even get to meet him. Whoever recorded that was a guy doing promos for us who happened to bump into him and got him to do that, right? And then of course there's this one. This person's dead too.
This is Ruth Schwartzman, and you're listening to The Fruit of My Loins. Alex Bennett.
You see? Okay, all right. It's my mom. And then this guy is still alive.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and this is the show that O.J. Simpson was driving home to listen to. Alex Bennett.
Thank you very much. I love that.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and this is the show that O.J. Simpson was driving home to listen to. Alex Bennett.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Well, there we go. There's all our. I haven't used those in a long time, have I? No. I don't use them at all. But anyway, let me see here. That's about it. That's about it for promos of famous people doing promos for me. Okay. Anyway, how are you? How are you this evening? Boy, I'm telling you, my eyes are just, whoa. And I almost didn't do a show tonight. And this is, and it's hot in here, even though I've got the air conditioner on. It's horrible. It's just horrible. So anyway, we will try and do our best and get ourselves through the next many hours here, or how long we got? Well, we only got an hour and 20 minutes left. Only an hour and 20 minutes left. I almost didn't do a show tonight. I almost said, "Hey, I'm out of it. Forget it. I'm not gonna do it." But no, we're just going ahead with it here. Anyway, let's take a look here at the big world map here and see what's happening with the COVID. What's happening with the COVID? Well, in the world, 6,601,349 cases totally confirmed of COVID-19 novel virus. And global deaths, 389,620. Okay? That's not good. That's not good. Here in the U.S., we're at, let's see, 1,872,557 totally confirmed. We're already up to 108 deaths. 108,208 right there. Look at that. And here's how we've been going with it. See what happened here in March? Nothing happening. Yep. And we're still going up. Okay? We are not coming down. But you want to make ourselves feel good? Look at Brazil. Brazil is now at 584,016 for total deaths of 32,548. Look at that climb. And they didn't start climbing until, middle of March. And then they climbed up a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and then they went all the way up there. There we go. Russia, how they doing? Let's see here. Russia, 440,538 with 5,376 deaths. Now, the deaths are pretty low compared to the amount of people who have gotten it. So either they're lying to us or they're holding on strong. Then you go down, you go to the United Kingdom. They've certainly got more deaths. They had 39, almost got up to 40,000 deaths here on 283,079 cases. That's over, I think that's over 10% of the people who got the coronavirus in the United Kingdom died of it. Okay? Spain, 240,000. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Spain, 240,000. Here it is. Hold on a second. Spain, 240,000. Come on, Spain. There we go. 240,000. There we are. 240,000. Wait a minute. There's 234,013. Excuse me, folks. I'm out of it. 33,689 global deaths. Oh, they say global deaths there, but that's just the deaths in Italy. India is under that, and, but the U.S. still leading the pack, folks. Still leading the pack. Doesn't that make you feel really good, huh? Well, what the hell? Let me see here. Oh God, I got to tell you, I feel like basic doo-doo. Okay, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't even be here for this tonight. Believe me, it's not the coronavirus. I wish it was. I took my temperature before I went on the air, and I was at like I don't know. 96.0 or something like that. Yeah, so I'm fine. My temperature's fine. I'm not coughing. I'm sniffling like crazy, and the eyes are burning. And here's the thing. I would take, they say, my business manager, I was talking to him tonight, and he says, well, do what I do. Take Zyrtec. Well, I can't take those things. I might try one. They say if you've got prostate problems, don't take them because it somehow impacts the prostate in some way. But man, I need something because I've been taking this stuff. You see this? Wait a minute, where is it? Where is it? What happened to it? Come here. Where are you? I can't find it now. Let me see here. Hold on. This stuff, right? This is the Costco version of what is Flonase. And it's much cheaper than Flonase. It's called Allerflow, and it's pretty much exactly the same stuff as the Flonase. But I do it in... And then you would think, okay, all of a sudden Alex isn't going to be dripping from the eyes. And Alex, no. And then this morning, I woke up with an incredible stomach ache, and I had to go to the bathroom. And I had the, what do we call it, the Trotskys all day long from some food we ordered last night from Fresh Direct. Now, I'm not blaming Fresh Direct. I'm complaining my stomach system, which I am terrible when it comes to IBS. And I have it kind of under control. What just dropped? Something dropped? Sounded like something dropped. Oh, well, nothing dropped. Okay. I have IBS, but I have it under control because I found the best way to put it under control is if you take probiotics. It really helps with it. I'm sure anybody who's had it and has tried probiotics agrees with me that it does work. So I take the probiotics, and I usually am pretty good. But, man, I don't know what it was. It was in the chicken cacciatore, and it, I guess, had too much cacciatore in it or something. And it gave me the cacciatores. So now that you've had the recital, my organ recital that I give every night, of what's wrong with me and how ill I am and what I've got going that's negative in my system. Hi there. How are you? What's happening? Anyway, so I don't know. I just, oh, wow. I got to do something here, folks. I got to do something here. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. And then I got to do something else here. I'm trying to, these are all things I should have done before I actually got on the air, but I didn't do them. And everything was in the wrong places and things like that. So anyway, let's hope now that everything works fine tonight, okay? Boy. So anyway, where oh yeah, there was some noise outside my window today. Yeah, some noise. And I look out the window, and I told you that really our neighborhood has been pretty quiet when it's come to demonstrations and looting and things like that. And you would have thought it wouldn't be because I live in Harlem, and it's a black neighborhood, so you would think that as a black neighborhood, the blacks in the neighborhood would want to protest about the death in Minneapolis, and I had nothing until this happened today, and I was so happy to see it because, it gives you hope that the kids today are doing what they got to do. Watch this. Look at that. There, that's outside my window. By the way, that building you see there, right there, they're going past, that is was the original movie palace. Yes, it was a movie palace, and now it's a church. But there we go. We had all those people, right? Doing their thing. I find that doing demonstrations like that is actually a young person's job. But that is a problem, though, because that could cause the spread of COVID. Now, our governor today said, if you are in any of these demonstrations and you come home after those demonstrations, tell everybody in your house what you were doing, because they should know, because you might have been exposed to COVID. But they're hoping that here's what happened. The latest thing with COVID in New York City, was it city? Well, New York State is that, in New York City, that's it. In New York City, 5 weeks ago, of the COVID tests that were given, 26% of them came out positive. Yesterday, they did about, how many did they say they did? 5,000? No, more than that, about 20,000, something like that. Incredible amount of tests, and only 2% were COVID positive. So we're hoping that a lot of those people in the marches aren't COVID positive and that it doesn't spread badly. Oh, God, my stomach's starting to bother me, and I'm going to drink coffee. Boy, Bennett, you are so smart. Well, I don't know. But anyway, so we're doing okay. The amount of deaths is down, and, hopefully we can keep it going that way. Now, every night I've been using the regular Skype instead of the special Skype I use because I'm so special, called Skype Preview. And the calls that we've taken have gone through okay. We haven't really had a problem with people calling. And I'm going to have you people call now. And I may at some point during this have you guys just talk to each other. And I may have to run off to the bathroom because of this chicken cacciatore that got the best of me last night. I've really got to go out. I really got to go outside. To tell you the truth, I'm getting so squirrely now, and it's getting so loud. I'm really getting absolutely squirrely from being indoors. Hi there, Brian. How are you?
Hi, Alex.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm like tired all the time. Listless, don't have any energy.
Are you doing the bicycle still?
I want to, but I'm too lazy to. I mean, I just feel so out of it. I can't get myself on the bike to do it,
Maybe you should set a time every day, time to go do that or something.
Well, I should do that, but you know me, I'm not going to do that, am I?
Okay, so I'm trying. Okay.
Let me see here. Who's let's put our friend. Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Where does if I put Charlie Wallace on? Where was he last night? Let's see. Maybe I don't have to find him a place. Okay, so in the number 1 spot, I can put Rob Alfano. Here comes Rob Alfano. There we go. Boom.
I have to go change.
Huh?
You had yours on last night.
I know. Got my jerseys right there. Don't threaten me.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me turn down the air conditioner here. It's making too much noise. I think you can hear it, right? Maybe you can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Is that better? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Fine. Hello there, Rob. How are you doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm trying to survive here. As I say, I've just been beset by. I think I've just got a major problem where being indoors has just completely gotten to me, and I am just so cathartic and so tired, and so out of it. I can't believe it. So I don't know. Tomorrow I've got to maybe get myself to go out. I don't care. I mean, I went out yesterday to go to the drugstore, but then I came home. That isn't much of being outdoors,
Yeah.
Plus, have any of you been going to any stores at all?
Okay.
I haven't been to one.
Yeah, it's kind of like going into a room full of bubble wrap. They like have plastic in front of all the people who work there, and it's hold on a second while I blow my nose. Oh boy. So anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I haven't been out, and then I think about, okay, well, I'll go out. All right, it sounds makes sense, right? I'll go out. Where do I go?
Right. Yeah, I can go out, and there's no place to go, really, other than the yard.
Well, where do I go? Do I take a subway somewhere? I'm sorry.
There's nowhere to go.
Do I take a private car? Well, that'll cost me a fortune these days.
To go where?
To go where? Yeah. Well, what am I going to?
I just went for a drive in the country.
Yeah. What?
I just went for a drive in the country. I spent about an hour.
Oh, well,
just
lucky
driving around
you.
outside
That's what
all-
I did a couple of weeks ago.
Lucky you. You guys have cars. All of you have cars. I don't have a car. I live in New York City. You don't own cars in New York City. Why do you own a car in New York City? Really no reason to.
Nope.
And if you own one, it's more expensive than when you own a car. You own a car, you buy it, maybe you pay cash for it, or you make payments on it, but that's it. And then you got some insurance. And your insurance is fairly reasonable, probably where you live. Just start paying for insurance on a car in New York City. Okay? Then add to that the fact that you have to put it in a garage, and that's going to be $800 a month.
Is that what it is now?
Oh, yeah.
I had one time I had a $145 a month spot in Manhattan.
When was that?
It was in the 80s.
Somewhere after the 1880s?
Over on 9th Avenue and 52nd or something like that. I was working for a place and I had to drive in a lot. And then I think it went up to like $350 the last time I had a spot.
Yeah. 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 So why do I own a car? Well, so you can get in the car once every 2 months and take a drive to the country?
It's cheaper to rent that car.
That's exactly it. If Hertz were still in business. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
You know what I did when there's an app that when I went to Vegas with my wife, it's going to be, maybe it was 2 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. There is an app that I downloaded called Turo. And it's instead of, you know about this, Brian? Instead of renting just your run-of-the-mill Avis or, you can rent cars from people and you can rent beautiful automobiles. I rented like really high-end cars that were fun to drive. We rented a car and we took it to LA and back, right?
Yeah.
And so it was this Turo, and it was you get really, really nice, beautiful cars to drive, and they have everything exotic. It's fun. That's what I like to do. Drive fun cars if I'm going to drive a.
Yeah. Listen, it's been so long since I rented a car. I think the last time I drove one was maybe 3 years ago. I don't know if I still know how to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I have that great fear. I'm sure I'll get behind the wheel, and about 10 minutes in, I'll go, yeah, it's like riding a bicycle, which I can't do.
I haven't driven in months.
Right.
I put 0 miles. I did the mileage report for my company car, which I'm allowed to use for personal and business. 0 miles this month. Not 1 mile.
Not 1 mile.
Not 1 mile.
Now, do you have another car too? Do you have your own personal car?
My wife, we lease my wife a car that she uses. I have the company car, which we could take wherever. And then I've got the Corvette that I use for fun.
Mm-hmm. And how many miles?
So the Vet I've been driving more because I'm not driving to go to the store. Like my wife and I took a nice ride into the country, into the mountains. Took the Vet on a beautiful day with the top down.
Yeah.
And so the Ford Escape has been sitting there just for a whole month, not moved.
Yeah.
I started it a couple of times because the app alerts me. It says your battery's running low.
Well, where's Phil tonight? I guess he was getting his shot today, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His hormone shot?
Maybe he doesn't feel well.
Well, either that or he's having his period. I don't know, but we'll hopefully he'll call. We can find out how he's doing. Anyway, you can even hear it in my voice. I'm like hoarse. Yeah. Yes, Charlie.
You're talking about driving. I don't think I've driven more than 50 miles a month since March.
Really?
So I'm making these car payments. Well, at least I'm saving on gas.
I don't think I've walked more than 50 feet in a month. So, I'm
really curious to see what's going to happen to car prices because, they go through these sometimes and, people, unfortunately, who have some nice custom cars or classics, they may have to sell them off to keep surviving and stuff. So, that market.
My insurance company's giving me a 20% discount. They just gave me 20% back.
Well, because nobody's driving their cars, so they're not. They said that
you can have an accident if you don't drive the car.
They said that in New York, they were virtually in I think 1 month there were virtually no pedestrian automobile accidents. Where on a normal day there were like 10 or 15. Plus the air is clean out there. But we're going to mess it all up again. We're going to screw everything up again. Don't worry.
Very quick.
Stand by, folks. Don't worry.
We'll have that nice brown air pretty soon.
Huh? Yeah, well,
The buses have to be creating it. The buses still run, right?
Well, the buses.
I'll never forget that, standing on the corner, waiting for a bus or waiting for the light to turn, and the bus takes off, and all that exhaust comes out, and you're just breathing that in.
Yeah, they're not that bad anymore. I think they're using something else to power them or something like that, you know. But no, we have the buses are still running, and they're free.
Really?
They're free because they don't want to have the drivers have contact with people. So they have the whole area where the driver is supposedly blocked off, again with bubble wrap or whatever.
Holy
and
crap.
then everybody goes in through the back door and sits down, tries to keep
Wow.
social distance. Yeah. And you know, because of all these things that we've been doing, they're surprised, but those essential workers have been affected less by the coronavirus than, say, people like you and me. They said there's only about a 13% rate or something of people getting the coronavirus who are workers like that, where they find the largest amount of people who have been coming down with it are people like me who stay in the house. You know.
Yeah, our company, we have about 1,500 people there at the 5 or 6 buildings we have, and we only had 2 people, and those were in early March.
Really?
And one person I just saw back for the first time today. And but other than that, everyone's been social distancing, masks. And we wear masks in the clean rooms anyways. So it's been surprisingly we had to take action right away when the first person, because they were an assembler in one of the rooms, and so we had some people go ahead and home quarantine, but nobody else came down with it.
Yeah.
Or at least showed symptoms.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yes, Jeff.
I'm going to be tested tomorrow.
Why?
Well, because they're going to do it to anybody in this town who wants to do it.
And you're doing it, you don't have any suspecting thoughts that you might just doing it, right?
No reason. No, it's just.
Marjorie's having one next week because she's got to have a procedure, just a small procedure, just a shot they give her in the back every 6 months to calm down her stenosis.
Fine.
And she's got to have a COVID test. And if she doesn't have it, then I guess I don't have it, you know. So I don't
But
know.
that's a good time to take the test. You don't want to take the test when you have symptoms. That's the bad time to take the test.
Well, I mean, but up until now, they've said do not take the test unless you have the symptoms. In other words,
Well, I guess the tests are becoming more available.
yeah, they're more available. So now they're saying if you want one, go get one. You know.
Yeah, we just topped 4 million. It's
Yeah.
a small amount, but 4 million, pretty big for us. And then we are coming up with a combination of flu and COVID. We call Fluvid test for next season that'll test for both.
Fluvid? Oh, I say
Fluvid.
it'll test for both. Oh, wow.
Flu and COVID. Yeah, because right now, even before we had COVID, the doctors were giving the flu test and seeing if they had that. If they had that, then we say, okay, here, good, here, antibiotics and whatever. But then if they didn't test positive for that, but they knew they had some kind of flu, then they knew they had COVID.
Oh, okay. All right. You're breaking up a little bit on us. I don't know why. Because you don't have that problem. But who knows? Anyway, you know, I mean, but the thing is, this damn, what do you call it, is driving me crazy. These allergies.
My eyes were a little bad in the yard today with my mother with the grass.
Yeah, well, you probably aren't that allergic. I mean, I am.
You're worse than me. Yeah, I can see it bad in the house.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, well, here's what happens: is I should wear a face mask at home. That will help with it, but it won't help with the eyes. You gotta wear dark glasses to cover the eyes.
You rub them, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you take a tablet, Alex? Would you try taking the?
No, I was mentioning this before because of the prostate thing. They affect the prostate.
Right.
You can't do it. I'm going to check. I'm going to see if I can. But anyway, Marjorie always likes to have the windows open in the apartment. Well, guess what? Guess where it comes from, folks?
What do you think it is?
Huh? Yeah.
The trees?
It comes through the window.
Yeah, you got to close that. Yeah.
Yeah, she won't close the windows. I can't stand to have the windows closed. Turn on the air conditioner, do any number of things, but for crying out loud.
Maybe HEPA filters will help.
I don't know what will help. To tell you the damn honest to God truth, you know.
They have those really nice HEPA filters. And even if you do it, like if you put one there in the studio, in your, in your office there.
Yeah.
And you keep the door closed, it'll keep the air purified.
Yeah. Well, my eyes are feeling just a tad better right now at this moment because I've been in this room long enough with the air conditioner on that it's probably getting most of whatever's in this room out of here. But you're right. I mean, there are a lot of things. What happened? I often wondered. Okay, so you get a dehumidifier because of the humidity in the air, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what if you also buy a humidifier and you put them in the same room at the same time?
You're fighting each other.
It's a war.
Is it a war?
I don't.
Does it become really ugly?
Oh yeah, nice air.
Huh?
Your electric bill goes through the roof.
Yeah, you're just going to be using electricity.
Connor's going to like you.
Yeah.
You get a Christmas card.
But I just love to lie there and just watch them fight each other, But so now the other thing that happened today, I wake up and Marjorie says, "Alex, are you up yet?" "Yeah, I'm up. Yeah. We have a problem." "What is it?" I caught a mouse.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Apparently a mouse got caught in one of our traps. Finally.
You got him.
Yeah. And he'd gotten halfway through the poison as well. So he was on his way to mouse land, And so she took them. He was in this little canopy thing with the trap in it. And he was kind of sticking out one end. So she picked the thing up and threw it in the garbage can. And then threw another trap on top of him to stick him both ways.
Little sandwich.
And now he's in there just dying slowly.
Oh, you get that sound?
And I got to see the mouse, and he's going, So what she did is she double bagged the mouse.
I would throw some out.
Yeah, I mean, so we had mouse problems. Okay, so that was our big mouse problem. But apparently now we got the mouse, right?
They always say there's more than one.
Well, no, I think we already got one more because we haven't seen a mouse in weeks. Okay, and then all of a sudden this one got caught. I think the other one probably went to mousy heaven. He's up there eating.
No, that's no good though, because if that happens, it's going to stink eventually.
No. I put the bag out, and it's going to be taken down tomorrow morning.
No, I mean the other one.
The other one. Well, we haven't.
If it died in the house,
we haven't smelled it. And you know what they say about mice? He who dealt it smelt it, or something. I don't know. But so we had big mouse problem today. So I woke up to that. Gotta do something about the mouse, And I felt bad for the mouse. Are you ready for that?
I don't blame you.
I figured, we don't have a pet. We could, that's at least something. Let me see. Oh, here comes Phil. Here comes Phil. He's a little late.
He's alive.
He's a little late to the party, but
yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Phil. Let me just put you on here. There's Scuba Diver. Here we go. And let me see here. I got to do that, and then I got to do that, and everybody can see Phil. Hello, Phil. How are you?
Hey, I dozed off.
Did you really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was a part of having that shot today, but yeah.
It could be. Could be. Could have been the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's
Did you go okay?
Yeah. The nurse said, "Is this the first time you've had this hormone shot?" And I said, "Yeah." she says, well, we give it to you in the backside. And so I said, oh, really? And so she says, have you had a shot in the tush before? And I said, yeah, when I was 6. And
What do you mean shot in your tush? Most of the time I get shots, they put them in the tush.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I haven't had that many.
Neither have I.
No, but I mean, they well, not inside the rectum or anything, but
No, but in the muscle.
In the muscle. When I went and had my my prostate biopsy, they gave me an antibiotic before they did the biopsy, and they did it in the rear end. Yeah.
They gave me some like a lidocaine or a painkiller before the biopsy, but I don't remember getting an antibiotic.
They had to give you an antibiotic, or they made you take pills for antibiotics because they don't want you to get infected.
Yeah. Well, you go to get the flu shot, and they just stick you in the arm, and so most shots that I've had.
So they give you any information about what to expect with the hormone shot?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody laugh now. Go ahead, Phil.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll be watching these, chick flicks.
Well, you're gonna find yourself watching Lifetime.
Yeah.
More than you ever have in your life.
He's going to sell all of his guns for handbags.
So far, the only thing is I really don't feel any different. And so she says, "Are you going to get this every 6 months?" And I said, "No, I don't think so. I think it's just one time during the course of treatment."
Well, they do it. They do it because the hormones. What happens is a prostate cancer cannot exist with the absence of a male hormone.
Yeah.
Okay. So what this does is it kills the male hormone, and therefore the cancer, while it doesn't kill the cancer, it prevents it from spreading or growing, or even being able to exist. So that's why they're giving that to you.
Hey, Phil, does your girlfriend live with you?
Yeah.
That means you guys can synchronize your periods.
Phil will call him Phyllis. Really? Does that
Either
do
that
anything
or how old is Faye?
50.
50? Has she gone through the change?
It looks like it's happening now.
Oh, okay. Then you can both get hot flashes at the same time.
Well, they said that I might get a hot flash. Or yeah, they said that that's one of the but so far nothing.
You might grow hair on your head, right? Because isn't it because it's the male
testosterone
that cause the hair loss, I think.
Yeah.
Well, but
I asked about that, and I don't get that for the same money. Yeah, must have
gotta pay extra.
Yeah.
This is the one that doesn't have the hair growth.
See, because
he's gonna be a Democrat now.
Huh?
He's gonna be a Democrat soon. He's gonna get into the Republican.
Softer side of Phil.
Yes, it's gonna come out.
By the way, I got a note last night from somebody who said you should ban. Who is it? The American Patriot. That he is writing the same stuff every night. Do you watch it, Charlie? Do you look at the chat? Because I wrote this person back and I said, I can't do anything about the chat because I got a show to do and I can't pay attention to the chat and moderate it at the same time I'm moderating the show. And I haven't paid attention to American Patriot. Is he that much of a pain in the ass? Because I can ban him.
Yeah, I mean, he says the same thing every night about Slow Joe and Goodbye Slow Joe and all that stuff.
He's as big a pain in the ass as I am.
Actually worse, Bill.
I mean, he's just saying what people like me believe, and
as long as he's not abusive, I don't think. I mean, his opinion is his opinion.
I mean, if this guy who wrote me just disagrees with him and doesn't like the disagreements, I'm not gonna censor that.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't attack anyone. And
you can be sarcastic. We're all sarcastic. It's just a matter of being polite and not, derogatory to anybody.
You know, I mean, occasionally I glance at them, and I mean, some of those people are downright nasty, but it takes.
The guy here wrote, I used to get penicillin in the tush when I was a child. I think penicillin went in the tush.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
I've gotten
that's right.
penicillin in
Yeah,
the tush when as an adult.
Yeah, when I was 6, they gave me shots in the tush.
Right.
Yeah, and now that
And
and now that
maybe
you're
it's
gay, you
because
get
I
a shot in the
watched-
tush.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I think the last time I had strep throat, they gave me a shot in the butt.
yeah.
I was afraid of that.
But anyway, so let me see here. Anybody watch the funeral today?
A little bit I watched. I saw Sharpton going off. He's going to do some kind of march, Alex.
Well-
around August for Martin Luther King on Washington. I think I heard him say.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all. I saw a little bit of it, Yes, Pamela.
I watched part of it that Sharpie spoke,
Yeah.
and I really am not a friend of his at all. He just drives me crazy. He was terrific. He did a great job.
Well, he was doing his best impression of his old boss, James Brown.
Yeah.
I don't like Sharpton because I consider Sharpton a civil rights ambulance chaser.
Yeah.
I like the genuine articles. Okay, and there's some really good genuine articles out there. They get upstaged by this guy because he's promotion crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he gave the family some relief today or said things that made people feel better, then all the more power to him.
I think one good thing that's happening is there's a lot of people, the famous people we say, from Hollywood and all stuff, and football players and stuff like that. Not like Drew Brees, but other people. A lot of these other people are starting to speak up finally, and they're starting to get on the air. So.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something that I was thinking about today, and I don't want to diminish the problems that black people have with the police, but the Hispanics have problems with the police as well, as do many white people. I mean, I know that I was at a demonstration once kicked in the shins by a cop, and I'm white, okay. I think it is a question of police who abuse their authority, period. And we have to deal with that and make sure it doesn't happen, But we can't just say, oh, I'm black. Your chances are pretty good that if you're black, there's more of a chance that you're going to get abused by a cop, or let's say a rogue cop to keep Phil happy, than you are if you're white. But I'm still saying it is a general problem that needs to be dealt with, and it's needed to be dealt with since I was a kid, okay? I mean, there was a time when police were getting away with bloody fucking murder. Did somebody have their hand raised there?
No, I was just eating a pistachio.
Oh, you're a pistachio nut like me, yeah. Do you get them shelled or pre-shelled?
These are lightly salted shelled already.
Yeah, I like the already shelled one. I'm lazy with pistachios. I don't want to have to work.
I like the ones in the shell because you eat them slower.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But they've got with the honey roasted pistachios.
Otherwise,
are to die for.
Eat that whole bag in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but they're a low carb snack. They are.
Yeah, I eat a lot of cashews.
They're a little stronger in carbs. Anyway, what were you saying, Jeff?
My black friend, his wife, always says that the first thing they teach their kid,
they have the talk.
Like 3 years old, don't get in trouble with the police, and don't ever say anything bad. Charlie,
when you were a kid, were you given the talk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the talk basically is, if I'm correct, if a cop stops you, yes sir, no sir, cooperate, and then get the hell out of there.
Yep.
And that
all my friends know that.
Yeah, and it's a shame that anybody has to tell their kid that. You know, I never had that speech from my parents. You know, because they didn't perceive it as a problem. But I mean, it's been a problem. It was a problem when I was a kid. You know what was happening to blacks, because I used to hang around with the black kids. You know, I was a bad guy. I used to hang around with the black kids, and I saw it going on. I saw what was happening. I understood what their life was like, you know, and I often tell the story about how I was very hurt by the fact that when finally there were riots in Watts and the whole movement started taking place, that my best friend said to me, "I can't see you anymore because you're white," and we're kind of on different sides of the problem. He said, "Not that I don't think the world of you." He said, "I just can't. I've got work to do," I think is how he put it. You know. And then a couple of weeks later, he drowned in the bay. So, you know, it was one of the most depressing moments of my life, and it has lasted with me forever. And why I hate racism, you know, because it wasn't the thing that drove us apart. Wasn't the relationship between he and I. It was the relationship between he and the rest of the world, and it's terrible. You know, I find it a little ironic that a guy, what's his name again, the guy who got killed, my mind's a blank today. Floyd.
George Floyd.
George Floyd. The George Floyd, probably absent this thing happening, nobody ever would have known who he was, outside the people who were close to him. Now he has become an icon because of his death. And I find that bizarre, because I would rather that he not be famous right now and alive.
Yeah.
You know, and I think making him an icon when he's dead really doesn't do much for him. You know, he's dead.
You just had Ahmaud Arbery, you know, the jogger who was in Georgia.
Yeah, that.
And, I mean, they have a video of all that stuff, and I was watching all that stuff, and it sort of blew by again, you know, and it was another killing that just went by again, and nobody did much. So, I mean, unfortunately, it takes something like this, and I think coronavirus is sort of good that we're going through this, because, man, I think if we wouldn't have that, also, all these protesters also would be out there.
Well, they arranged in the Aubrey case. They put the people on. You know, they indicted the people today. They made them plead today. And
guy that took the video.
All three of them.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
they set a bail of $1 million.
Here's NBC. This is why I hate him. I hate NBC. This is why I really hate NBC. They said, and they're going to describe what was said on the scene. It could be rough going for a lot of you out there. And then they run it, and then they bleep the two words out, which is fucking nigger.
Yes.
They bleep the two words out, and I'm going, why did you bleep it out? I'm the public. I need to know what these guys are accused of having said. And then on comes Lester Holt again. He says, yes, and they were accused of saying effing N-word. That's how he put it, effing N-word. And I'm going, huh? What are we, children?
We can't.
Well, but it is it's. If they would have said it, they would have come under scrutiny for saying it.
You know something? I don't think they would have. I think there are laws, there are regulations by the FCC that in this kind of case where you are quoting a court case, you can quote it, you know. And the fact that they bleeped it out was pathetic. It was just pathetic. By the way, here's a little bit of information you're going to love. The owners of MSNBC, of course, is NBC. They also own the NBC network and NBC News. Do you know what they're considering doing? They've got this real estate at night called CNBC that really doesn't have any programming of note at night except for Shark Tank over and over and over again, which does very well for them. But they don't have any other programming on because it's a business network. and businesses closed at night. Okay, you know what they're thinking of doing with that fallow time?
Joel Osteen.
No, no. Leave that to Sirius XM to do that. No, they're thinking of going out and hiring a bunch of right-wing commentators to do commentary at night on CNBC.
That's what we need.
Yeah, right.
Just what we need. Another one. Do you know, here in New York, we've got CNN and MSNBC, okay? Then we've got CNBC, which doesn't have a political bent. Then we have OAN, we have Newsmax, we have Fox Business, which is political, and Fox, which is political. 4 against 2. A little, there's a little too much of that. If you wanted to balance it out, that would be fine, but they're not balancing it out.
It's clear who makes more money.
I'm sure, I don't. I would have said in the old days the right wing gets the higher ratings because what they're saying is more controversial and much more in your face than the way the left wingers do it. But I don't know if that's the case now. John?
Yeah, it would be cool if they put those anti-Trump right wingers, because those guys are kind of interesting, like the Lincoln Project guys and all those dudes, Rick Wilson and what's that guy that was he's on MSNBC all the time with the shaved head, Steve Schmidt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that guy. He's pretty good. I like to listen to that guy. He's a right-wing guy.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of right-wingers you could hire that are good, but they're thinking of doing this, especially if Trump doesn't get reelected, because they see it as an outlet, as a bigger outlet for that.
Where does that Sinclair network fit into that? Is that just radio, or is that television?
They're basically, well, they're television
TV
stations, but they're not a TV channel.
They were supposed to be buying the Tribune stations, and it got blocked, I think.
Yeah. Sinclair is what Sinclair is. Years ago we used to have a thing called the equal time provision, where you had to make time available for people to have equal time to speak on issues and so on and so forth. And that went away. They did away with that. And so that's when Rush Limbaugh suddenly became very heavily political to the right, because he could do it without having to bring somebody on to counter him, or the station having to have another guy on the air who was on the other side. And so absent the equal time provision, Rush Limbaugh was able to flourish, and so was, Rupert Murdoch and his properties and so on and so forth. And there's no such thing as equal time any longer. I mean, you don't see any equal time over at MSNBC. I mean, MSNBC doesn't have any right wingers, basically.
Doesn't that just seem wrong?
Of course, it's wrong.
So why is it allowed to happen?
But because you got Fox, it doesn't have any left wingers.
No, MSNBC has some right wingers.
Who?
Like Rick Wilson, and he doesn't come on that much.
Who's Rick Wilson? I'm talking about hosts.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about hosts.
That lady that does the daytime thing was a right winger.
No, she was a Republican.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But she's not.
Well, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Republican.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's pretty boring. It's like playing the same song over and over again all day long on a radio station.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But, if Trump doesn't get reelected, all those stations are going to lose a lot of money, because people won't be watching anymore. There won't be as much to argue about.
Well, he won't be dominating the news, although, is it my imagination, or has he not been around for the last couple of days? After that whole debacle.
Yeah, he's hiding.
He's hiding.
I think his advisors are telling him just to shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean,
he's been on memes. He's been on a lot more memes.
Yeah.
With a couple dildos holding it. It's so funny.
Yep.
Instead of the Bible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Bible thing was a bad idea. Was a real bad idea. At least the way he held it. You know, if he had taken it and held it up like this, I was thinking about it. If he had held it up like this, you know, over his head, over his head. But he was holding it like this. You know,
It looked strange.
it looked really, really awkward.
I mean, is that going to be when he loses?
You're breaking up on us, Tony.
Okay, you're frozen, Tony.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! We got a frozen Tony. Okay, now you're okay, Tony. Now you unfroze. I don't know. Is your mother playing video games or something?
Don't wake her up, please, for the love of God. She'll never let me sleep.
Don't wake my mother up, my. Anyway, so I mean, and now he's got it even worse. Something like, what is it? 5 generals and whatever came out against him today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
that ship's sinking like a rock.
I mean, when you start having those people going against you, you know, it's getting kind of bad, and then you had, of course, what's his name from Utah, Romney, of course, came out against him today, and then a woman from Florida, I think.
No, it's from Alaska.
Alaska, Murkowski. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Came out against him today. Said that she doesn't know if she can back him in the election. And I think this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a wholesale jumping of ship.
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Huh? What?
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
What happened to John? Did he pay his electric bill? Oh, okay.
The guy from Arizona, the astronaut, I think he's is he beating or beat?
He's leading in the polls.
He's got like an 8-point lead against McSally.
Yeah.
And that could be devastating in the Senate.
Yeah, he's married to the senator that got shot in the parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow,
All right.
that's right.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Gabby Gifford or something like that.
Yeah, Gabby Gifford.
Yep,
So if he wins, I think Trump's going to have a hard time of it. I do.
If he gets another 4 years and they get the Senate, they're going to impeach him.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
sure.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to impeach him on now?
Just reopen.
Being himself.
Huh?
Being an asshole.
Bad
For
hair.
being an asshole. Okay. I saw the funniest. I'll tell you what I saw. I saw the funniest interview today. Lately, my great pleasure is YouTube. I don't know why. I just start surfing YouTube like crazy. There's millions of things there, and I came up against David Letterman when he was over at NBC interviewing Donald Trump for the first time, and the whole first half of the interview was him constantly saying to Trump, "So how much are you worth, Donald?"
I saw that interview.
And he keeps saying, I'm not going to say. I don't know. I'm not going to say. And then he finds another way to ask him the same question. Mm-hmm. And then he says, "Okay, how much would you have to lose to start drinking?" And he goes, "Well, I don't drink, and that wouldn't be a problem." He said, "If tomorrow they came to you and said, well, you know, you got to get rid of everything, and we'll write you a check for it. How much would that check be?" I mean, he kept asking the questions over and over again. And finally, at the end, he asked him one more time, and he said, "Look, I don't know. I have no idea how much I'm worth right now." And he said, "You sound like you're running for office." And I went, "Wow."
He was a charming guest on those shows in those days.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, yeah. Well,
No,
I mean,
I thought he was a dick.
I liked him on those shows.
I've always hated the guy.
Yeah, you could tell though when somebody starts digging in on some of those old ones, he doesn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Excuse me for wiping my eyes all the time, folks, but I've got these allergies.
I've got a problem.
What?
I found a cord on my desk. For
the Homo.
I don't know what it goes to.
Well, oh, please, that's like the famous thing. I got so many cords around here. You know what it is? You get, and this is another pet peeve.
Mm-hmm.
How many things do you have where you have something like this, one of these bricks, or one of those things you plug in? I thought I had the right one once for a sound bar. After I moved,
blew it up.
I blew up the sound bar, plugged in the wrong one. So now I'm afraid I got all these bricks here, and they're not labeled, and they
usually they don't. If the thing will fit in it. Okay.
This is a specialty plug. This is so weird looking, and I have no idea.
Well, wait a minute. Hold it up. Hold it right up to the camera so I can see it. That is I never saw one like that before. I've seen them like that, but they're larger.
Yeah, for 10 cents.
I had a network drive blow on me tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, in your sand?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This is one of the individual ones I had lying around here, and luckily it was one that I didn't use much for anything.
Just porn, huh?
Yeah, no. That one's okay. If that one went, I'd commit suicide. Yes, Brian.
I had, if you see IKEA has these weird lights, and they have this one little plug that plugs in there, and then they have the regular cord plug that goes in there. And it's really bizarre looking. When we moved into this house, I couldn't find it for a long time. I was going to go to IKEA and steal one. All of a sudden, I found it somewhere, and I was like, "Oh my God, I know what this is!" And I'm running right to it. And we already plugged it in.
I have a whole bag. I have a whole bag that they filled up with those plugs.
Right.
And
you're afraid to throw them out because.
Well, if I need one, I start saying, "Will this one fit in here? Will this one fit in here?"
Well, be careful with that because mine fitted in, plugged it into the wall, and the sound bar never worked again.
It shouldn't have blown. If it fit, it must have quit. I don't know. If it fit,
Rob
must have quit. That was Johnny Cochran.
Rob's got a P-touch.
He's Cochran.
He's got
and
see
it here. Yep.
Label all of those things.
I was thinking about that, but this is the first P-touch that came out.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you when. This was given to me as a Christmas gift
P-touch?
years ago. Still works. I labeled my console here with it.
You said P-touch? What are you referring to? Masturbation?
Brother P-touch.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, remember the thing they used to sell in Lamson's? You used to put the color codes on it and type it? It used to come out.
Yeah, the Dymo.
Dymo label maker. Yeah, those things are really good.
Yeah.
This thing works great.
Yeah. Well, if I would have done something like that with this, and I, for the life of me, don't know why it's on my desk. It's just like it appeared.
You throw it away and you'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. You'll suddenly go, why the hell did I throw that away?
This one's different enough that if I throw it away, I think
Can't you go online somewhere? Isn't there a site that goes, what kind of plug is this?
This is one of those Casio CD title things. You put a CD in here.
Yeah, right.
And you have a program on your computer, and you design a label, and it laser prints it on. There's no label. You don't stick anything to it, but you put the raw CD in here, and it actually prints directly on the CD. It's sitting here because I don't know where the brick is for it.
Well, no, here.
I'm afraid to plug it in.
For years, I was buying printers that would print labels on for CDs. And you could.
Yeah, you don't need to do that with this. You just put the naked CD in there. If you buy the blank ones.
Yeah.
And it'll print. You choose a top and a bottom, and you could format it. It looks great.
Well, you could do that. Well, you could do
That's where I first saw them.
You could go
online and look up that particular product and see the schematic for it, and maybe it'll tell you which brick fits it.
For 10 cents. Yeah. They could put the name Casio on it.
Yeah.
And then I would know. Every time I move and I unplug things and you put them away, they never match up again.
I don't know. I have such a rat's nest of wires under this thing. One day last week, I accidentally moved my foot in the wrong place and turned off everything. Really, I'm serious. Yeah. So I had to move all those things out of the way. Here's the thing that bothers me. The what do you call it? Where you put the electric plugs in? The
power strip?
Power strips. Why do they put a on-off switch on the power strip?
Oh, it's a good place to control it from.
No, wait a minute. Why? Why can't you have your choice? Because I want them. I have to put tape over them so they don't turn off accidentally.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it. Why can't you just plug into them and they go, okay, it works? You know.
That's a safety feature.
What safety feature for what?
If you have a thunderstorm and you have a lightning bolt go by overhead, it'll blow out all your electronic equipment unless you have a circuit breaker like that.
That's not a circuit breaker, though. He's talking about like a rocker switch.
A rocker switch, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Those things automatically, most of those things automatically have circuit breakers in them.
Mhm.
But I'm talking
The
about
good
the
ones do.
rocker switch. I've got a couple of things down here with rocker switches. If I accidentally touch them, boom, they're off.
Yeah.
You know, got to reboot.
Yeah, me too. I got one on the floor right here.
Yeah.
I got to be careful about.
Yeah. So what we should do is probably have a segment on this show, maybe in the next couple of weeks, called "What's This Plug?"
Right in the middle of the show, and you pull it and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Well, I'm down to 66 degrees, and it's hot in here. Hold on a second. Temperature.
Everything else on the desk doesn't have this plug. Yeah, I looked. There's a GoPro.
It's really a problem.
Huh? Yeah.
It's really a problem. I can't find the plug. I've got one of these what do they call it? It's my brother used to get. It's a recorder. It records audio and video.
Mm-hmm.
A little thing. What's the name of that company? It's about this big. It's about as big as my phone, but it's thicker. I can't find the thing to charge it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, we
No idea where it is.
should have a show called Name This Plug.
Yeah.
And
This is your life. Remember?
You know.
Imagine if they did the show. This is your life. You just hear the voice in the back. I used to like when they used to do that.
I like that show. It shows you how old you are.
This is your life, Alex. Imagine that would be funny.
Oh, you really? Okay. Okay. Anyway, man, I'm sweating like a pig in here. It's
get the AC going.
Wait a minute. What's the temperature? Let me look at my watch. Let me look at.
Who's having hot flashes? You or?
It's only 70.
Changes.
76 degrees.
You want me to order you something from Macy's with my mom? Let me know.
What?
It's 50% off. No, Phil, 50% off Macy's.
Why, are they looting again?
No, but they're I guess they're hurting Hondo. Yeah, they probably.
Listen.
She used to work there. I can get you an extra 20.
Yeah.
She's still got a Macy's card.
Yeah.
Everybody's grandmother or aunt worked for Macy's, Herald Square. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, whoever went in the Apple store and looted it and stole iPhones, I was saying last night, has got to be the biggest idiot in the world. Because there's no way you can use those iPhones.
They're not designed as regular
Hey.
units.
I thought if they're not locked, you can, or what do they call it? They're not.
Break them.
They're you jailbreak them, or if they haven't been programmed or something.
But all those units are demo units. They're not
the stuff
full-fledged.
Yeah.
No, I told to go.
If they got into the warehouse where all the ones for sale are.
Oh well, yeah.
I've gone into the Apple store and they'll have computers like a Mac Pro, things like that, and you can actually surf the web and do stuff on them.
But they have it locked. It's not really wide open.
And they usually got a cop in there now too.
Yeah, they have cops at the Walnut Creek one.
Yeah.
But
And,
even though the store's closed, they have somebody guarding the place.
Yeah.
No, when it's open.
It's open. Matter of fact, at the Walnut Creek one, the cop car was parked facing the wrong way on the road.
Yeah.
And I didn't, so I was in the store and I said to the guy, "Is everything okay?" He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, it looks like you made an emergency response to get here." He says, "No, just the way they parked."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're trying to show a presence that that they're there, and don't screw with them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so anyway, we haven't heard really from Trump in the last couple of days. It's the only time I can remember him actually remaining silent. I hear he's been doing tweets though. I hear he did a tweet vilifying Mattis,
Mm-hmm.
loser general, If he's a loser general, why'd you hire him in the first place?
Yeah.
I like what he said that the only time he was in concert with Obama is that they both fired Mattis.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But yeah, but Trump didn't fire Mattis. Mattis resigned.
Mattis quit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he,
It just was a good line, so he used it.
No, he quit because Trump backstabbed the Kurds and pulled out of Syria.
Yeah.
That was cold.
Well, how do you feel about all these people that are turning against your boy now? I mean, it really is getting a bit pervasive now. I mean, it's kind of like when there's a dog and he finally gets some other dog gets the best of him, all the other dogs pile on him. You think that's going to start happening now?
You're always going to have a back and forth, and
Are you? Isn't this a little unprecedented?
No.
Really?
Do you remember this in any other presidency?
Well, do you remember anything like Trump in any other presidency?
Well, basically what Mattis said was he felt that Trump had been bastardizing the Constitution. He'd been misusing it and violating it.
What's the thing that he's said that he'd invoke to get the military into the cities that are rioting? The insurrection law that was developed.
Yeah, the Insurrection Act. Yeah.
Yeah, from 1807.
Yeah.
It's actually illegal to use the military against American citizens.
Unless you invoke the Insurrection Act. And
but how do you identify this as an insurrection? Here's the thing that it's kind of getting to me. I'm getting tired, and even our governor was mentioning it today on some level, not overtly but subvertly, about what do you call it? Antifa? Antifa.
Yeah.
About Antifa, and I got to tell you, I think that's a whole myth.
It is.
I think it's a complete myth trying to scare the American people into thinking there's some covert operation going on
Boogeyman.
called Antifa that's out to get them.
What was that movement? Wall Street something?
Occupy Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Weren't they, active during that?
No,
and
I never look. I've been involved, Phil, in left-wing politics for most of my life. The first time I ever heard the word Antifa was coming out of Donald Trump's mouth.
Oh, then you know it's not true.
They've been around.
Huh?
Berkeley, and they've been around, and they seem to come out of the woodwork when when there's like a right-wing speaker at Cal Berkeley. They seem to show up and protest and cause mayhem, break windows.
What's bad about an organization that's against fascism, against Nazis, against the Ku Klux Klan, is against...
That's Antifa.
It's Antifa.
The Black Hebrew, what's-the-names are pro-Israeli. No, they adopt these names, and there's nothing in fact to do with being anti-fascist with this group of terrorists, and that's all they are.
No, but terrorists. I want to know what. Tell me a specific instance in which Antifa has caused a terrorist act.
At Cal Berkeley, there's been a number of speakers that.
That is not a terrorist act. That's not a terrorist act.
They were burning things. They stopped the speakers from speaking.
But that wasn't Antifa. That was the students, Phil. That was the student.
Yeah.
That was the students. That wasn't Antifa.
Yeah, there is no such thing as Antifa.
They're dressed in black.
It's not an organization. It's just a loose group of people that all do the same shit.
Matter. So they get together whenever they want to cause mayhem. And, for how come there were rocks and bricks delivered on the roadside where these protests were
How do we know those weren't planted by right-wingers?
That was fake, yeah. That wasn't
I don't think so.
Phil, you've got right-wingers claiming to be Antifa right now that have been thrown off Twitter.
Yeah. Because they found that they weren't.
Crazies from all sides, but You know, I think there's more proof out there on this Antifa and this, you know, left-wing.
I know a lot about protesting. I know a lot about rioting. I know a lot about those things.
They're
never heard about taking buckets of bricks and putting them on street corners so people can have bricks to throw.
Well, they're saying that they're extremely organized.
They're not.
They're not organized.
Well, you can say no, they're not. But
well, they're not.
No, but Phil, look at this. Look at this logically. A bucket of bricks? Come
The
on.
only organized people they found are the actual right wingers that are pretending to be left wing to instigate riots.
That's
The
a
Boogaloo Boys. Have you heard about those guys?
a talking point just to cover up for their.
No,
their
what it is it's Trump's talking point that this is something that exists, that is American terror, and you got to watch out for Antifa. I mean, I got to tell you, there are worse groups in America. I mean, some of the right-wing groups, the militias, are really a problem, and we don't do anything about them.
Your friend Tom Yamaguchi had mentioned Antifa during some of the conversations that we'd had on the air, not to me, but to the group.
I don't remember that.
In Berkeley. He's aware of them, and this was a couple of years ago.
Well, I want to know where they are because I want to join.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
I want to
word
join
I'll be the pound cake.
because I like what they stand. I like what they stand for. They're against fascism in all its forms. I'm all for them. So if somebody will give me an address or a place where I can at least send a donation, let me know.
They're at 116th Street and 7th Avenue.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
Antifa, next block, make a left.
Yeah, make a left. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even have like a web page or like a Facebook organization.
No, it's they don't. That I know of.
Well, they
but-
do have a Twitter account, but it turned out they were right-wing people who were doing that.
Yeah, you know, if they're going to be a secret organization, they wouldn't be very secret if they had a web page that you could see. You know, even the Arab underground radical groups have pages, but I couldn't find them if I wanted to.
Well, I just want to know so I can join up, so I can be at the next demonstration, or so maybe I can deliver a bucket of bricks somewhere for them.
You have one of those black hoods that you can put over you, and you got to get a black backpack, and you know.
Well,
Yeah.
Phil's got black on. He might be part of them already.
Yeah,
You know,
Phil might be Antifa, and we don't even know it.
responsible to bring
It's
stuff down.
slimming. It's slimming.
All I'm saying is that I when I hear things like this, it makes me very suspicious because these are the kind of lies that are usually spread to. What the president was trying to do was to try and really make all the demonstrators look bad, even though he said, "Oh, well, we have good demonstrators out there." Well, who are they? You know. But you know, he creates this mythic thing to scare America. I mean, the one thing Mattis said, and I think Mattis was absolutely right, is he's the first president who hasn't tried to keep America together and bring America together. He's tried to drive a wedge between Americans.
I thought Obama was doing that.
Oh, no, he wasn't. When?
No way.
But Obama, and when he spoke, I saw a wedge. I really did.
Really? Well, I have no idea what
you're
wedge you
crazy.
saw. All I know is that, you know, I mean, no, if you want to say, Alex, you think Obama was perfect? Well, no, I don't think he was perfect. I think he was an amateur at the very beginning, and I think he continued to be an amateur for most of his first term. But he learned how to be president, and by the end, he was doing a pretty damn good job.
I didn't like George Bush's politics, but I didn't think he was divisive.
No.
Right.
No.
He was no. So that's what I mean. He same as Obama. You may not like his politics.
I can't. Can you
but
name
not divisive?
Can you name a president that's as divisive as Trump is?
No.
I can't name one. And
It's
Even
Trump's whole
Bush
platform was.
I never liked
down.
Reagan. I thought Reagan was an idiot, but I wouldn't accuse him of that.
Right.
Look
You know?
how left attacks Trump. You don't think that that's divisive?
Don't you think that would help though if he were uniting as opposed to
he could kiss you on the back of the neck and you wouldn't unite with him.
Not when he's driving.
That's because he's crazy.
He's doing it.
Because he doesn't do anything he doesn't do anything to ingratiate the other side. In fact, he'll even make offhanded comments about, well, he's Democrat. He'll try to say something nice about somebody. Oh, he's a Democrat, instead of saying something nice.
If a Republican says anything,
to begin with,
Alex would say,
I
don't believe it because he has an R
to begin with, Phil, you'd be absolutely wrong if you said that Trump was a right winger. He's not a right winger.
He's not.
He's not. Yeah.
He's self-serving.
He's just a Trump.
He's
all about Trump.
self-serving.
Rockefeller.
He's self-serving. What? He's what? He's Rockefeller?
Nelson Rockefeller was,
not in your,
what do they call him, Rhino?
That would be a Republican in name only, supposedly.
Trump's a fascist.
Trump's just a fascist.
No, I don't think so.
I do.
Well, I know you don't think so. That's why we don't agree.
That's what they call him to make the divisive argument.
No.
Hey, look,
it's
I
true.
mean, you have. When was the last time you had people within a party break as much as they have from the election on, from before the election? Even like during the convention, Republicans coming out saying we cannot have this guy as president.
Trump is crude.
Yeah.
And because he's crude, there are some people that just don't like the message.
Goes beyond crude, though. I mean, because he's not even being honest. Because we all know what Trump was before he was president. We know it because he didn't hide it. Yeah. And now he's walking around with a Bible.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah.
Come on, that's fake.
It's
transparently not genuine.
Fake.
There's nothing genuine about him.
Well, it doesn't. He doesn't have to be genuine. What he's doing is what he said he was going to do, and I'm happy.
Phil,
tear the country apart. That's what he said.
Phil, he has to be. I disagree with you. He has to be genuine because the people, the American public, has to be able to put their faith in him.
Right.
And that's why he has to be genuine. And he hasn't got a genuine or empathetic bone in his entire body.
Because he's putting America first.
No, he's he's putting America first against everything else and everybody else.
Well,
and actually, the hat should wear "Make Trump first."
Yeah, well,
because that's really what he's saying.
And the last thing he's doing is making Trump first because he has been giving his time, his effort, and his money to making America first. And,
his money. How much?
His money.
Do you know how wealthy he's gotten from being president?
I think he's lost $1 billion.
No, he hasn't. Not on your life, Phil. I'd like to see how many times he has known something was going to happen and bought and sold a stock and got into another one because it's something he knew he was going to do on Monday. Let's look into that one, Phil. Anyway, listen.
Make sure the military stays at his hotels.
Yeah. Let's. The theme is playing, folks. Thanks to everybody. Because they put up the names now, I can read everybody's name. Rob Alfano, thank you. Charlie Wallace, thank you. Pamela Zeller, always good to have you here, Pamela. Good, keep taking those hormones. Tony, thank you. Thank you to Brian Neary. Thank you to John Larkin. Always like having you here, John. And Phil Meyer, of course, shut the fuck up. Anyway, everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye to you as well. Okay, there they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Next is the intersection with a guy by the name of Jack Bishop. He'll be here right up next to talk to you, so stick around, be part of that citizen panel. In the meantime, I'll see you again tomorrow. He'll be on at 10:30, same time, same station in life. I'm stalling because I'm actually getting out of here early. Well, what the hell, I got out of here early anyway. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody, and stay safe and wear a mask.